The Kitchen of Chef Mark is celebrating 1 year on YouTube. To help commemorate this special occasion, we're putting together a brand new cookbook-style video called A Collection of Seafood Recipes. We'll show you several mouth-watering recipes from the coastal cities that we visited, like pan-seared sea bass from Cocoa Beach, Crabcakes from Fort Lauderdale, Blackened Swordfish from Fort Myers, pan-seared scallops from Key West, Parmesan crusted grouper from the Treasure Coast, stuffed flounder from Venice Beach, and shrimp and grits from Charleston. It's a Kitchen of Chef Mark seafood extravaganza. It's going to be delicious, so stick around and we'll show you how we make it.
My name is Mark Phillips. I've been in the food and beverage business for over 30 years. Throughout my career, I've had the opportunity to be in over 10,000 kitchens from around the world. During the day, I work for Natalie's, a squeezed fresh juice company from Florida. Each week, I travel to a different city and get the opportunity to call on some of the most amazing chefs in the industry. The Kitchen of Chef Mark is a channel dedicated to showing you how you too can make fine dining, restaurant quality food right in your own home. We'll travel together, we'll cook together, and we'll have some fun along the way. Welcome to the Kitchen of Chef Mark. Now let's get cooking! Tonight is a taste of Cocoa Beach in Florida. We're making sea bass, pan-seared in sunflower oil and finished off in a 450-degree oven. Topped with a lemon caper wine sauce, we'll serve it with garlic mashed potatoes made with butter, cream cheese, and heavy cream, and we'll plate it with a fresh spinach sautéed in olive oil and lemon juice. And why are we making this dish tonight? Well, this week we were in sunny Cocoa Beach, surfing capital of Florida, home of the world-famous Ron Jon Surf Shop. Ron Jon was founded in 1959, and it's the largest surf shop in the world. The 1960s television show I Dream of Jeannie took place in Cocoa Beach. And look at the dolphins. They're friendly, and you see a lot of them when you're here. And when you want the best seafood in town, be sure to visit Florida's Fresh Grill. The line is always long, but it's worth the wait. Their sea bass was melt-in-your-mouth delicious, and that's what brings us to our dish tonight. Sea bass with a lemon caper wine sauce, garlic mashed potatoes, and sautéed spinach. Our mise en place for tonight is 1 sea bass fillet, 3 tablespoons of sunflower oil, salt and pepper, and a pinch of dry parsley flakes. For our mashed potatoes, you'll need 2 pounds of Yukon Gold potatoes, 1/2 stick of butter, salt and pepper, 2 to 4 cloves of minced garlic or garlic puree, 4 ounces of cream cheese, and 4 ounces of heavy cream. For the spinach, you'll need 1 bag of fresh spinach, 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 2 ounces of Natalie's lemon juice, the zest of 1 lemon, and salt and pepper. And for our lemon caper wine sauce, we'll need 1 cup of dry white wine, 2 to 3 ounces of Natalie's lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 1 cup of chicken stock, salt and pepper, 2 chopped and minced shallots, 2 tablespoons of capers, 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter, and the zest of 1 lemon. We'll start with the potatoes first because they take the longest to prepare. Cut and dice the potatoes and put them into a bowl of cold water. The reason that we put them in the water is to keep them from turning brown while we cut the other potatoes. Try to cut the pieces so that they're the same size. This will ensure that all of the potatoes are cooked evenly and thoroughly. Drain the potatoes from the cold water and put them into a pot of salted boiling water for 30 minutes. While the potatoes are boiling, let's get our garlic butter ready. Put the butter into a small pot on low heat and whisk it until it is all melted. Then put the garlic puree into the pot and whisk it in too. To learn how to make garlic puree, click on the link in the description. Also, garlic can be very strong and overpowering, so if you really love the garlic flavor, then put both garlic pieces into the pot. But if you like a more mild garlic flavor, then only put in 1 piece. And if you don't like garlic at all in your potatoes, you can just leave the garlic out. It's totally optional. Drain the potatoes and then put them back on the stove with the heat on low. Then add in the garlic butter, the cream cheese, the heavy cream, the salt and pepper, and mash them using a hand masher. Now, if you like lumps in your potatoes, then the hand masher is best. If you use an electric mixer, the potatoes will be smoother without the lumps. Here is what the mashed potatoes will look like when you're done. Next, we'll prepare the sea bass. Pour some sunflower oil into a non-stick pan and turn the heat up to medium-high. We're using sunflower oil instead of olive oil because sunflower oil has a higher smoke point, and we'll be putting the sea bass under some high heat. Season the sea bass with salt and pepper. Make sure that you season it on all sides. Using a pair of tongs, put the sea bass into the hot skillet and cook it for about 3.5 minutes. Preheat the oven to 450 degrees. Using a fish spatula, turn the sea bass over and cook it for an additional 3.5 minutes. Then place the pan into the 450 degree oven for 5 minutes. Remove the pan from the oven and place the sea bass onto a sheet of aluminum foil and wrap it. Turn the oven down to 170 degrees, which is the optimum heat to keep food warm, and place the cooked sea bass back into the oven so that it will stay warm. Using a microplane zester, zest your lemon. This will be used in the spinach and in our sauce. To get the spinach ready, pour some extra virgin olive oil into the pan and turn the heat on to medium-low. Add in half a bag of the spinach, the lemon juice and the zest, and bring it to a simmer. Salt and pepper to taste. Give it a stir. Cover the pan and put it in the oven to stay warm. Using the same pan that the sea bass was cooked in, remove the excess oil from the pan and add in the butter on medium heat. Add in your shallots, give it a quick stir, bring it to a simmer and cook for 4 minutes. Add in the capers, lemon juice, white wine, chicken stock, and the lemon zest and bring it up to a simmer. Let it reduce by half until it thickens, then remove it from the heat. The sauce is what really makes the dish stand out. And now it's time to plate our dish. Spinach, mashed potatoes, green beans for decoration, the sea bass, the lemon caper wine sauce, dried parsley, fresh parsley for garnish, balsamic dots, fresh thyme, shredded Parmesan cheese for the spinach, and diced radish for garnish. And there it is, a taste of Cocoa Beach. Sea bass, pan-seared in sunflower oil, topped with a lemon caper wine sauce, served with garlic mashed potatoes and sautéed spinach. It was delicious. Until next time, bon appetit. Tonight is a taste of Fort Lauderdale. We're making jumbo lump crab cakes using fresh crab meat from Florida blue crabs, served piping hot right from the oven. The crab cakes will be plated with a chilled remoulade sauce that was made from scratch. Whether you want them as an appetizer or as a main course, these crab cakes are sure to please. And why are we making this dish tonight? Well, this week we were in beautiful Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Fort Lauderdale is the yacht capital of the world and has more than 40,000 yachts calling this city their home. Fort Lauderdale has more boats than any other city in Florida, and it's also referred to as the Venice, Italy of America, with 165 miles of inland waterways flowing right through the city. Fort Lauderdale has a promenade and strip that runs along Oceanside Highway with beautiful beaches, luxury hotels, upscale restaurants, bars, and shops. The fishing is good too, and the waterways are full of Florida blue crabs, which brings us to our dish tonight: crab cakes and remoulade sauce. First, we'll start with the remoulade sauce. This needs to be chilled for a few hours before serving, so that's why we make it first. For the remoulade sauce, our mise en place is 1 teaspoon of dried tarragon, 2 tablespoons of white wine vinegar, 1/2 cup of mayonnaise, 2 dill pickles chopped and diced, 1 teaspoon of horseradish, 1 teaspoon of anchovy paste, 1 tablespoon of crushed drained capers, 1 tablespoon of fresh chopped parsley, 2 scallions chopped and diced, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, a pinch of paprika, cayenne pepper, and black pepper, and a tablespoon of hot sauce, which is optional. Add the dried tarragon to a small pot. Add in the vinegar and bring it to a simmer for about a minute or two. Turn off the heat and add it to a mixing bowl. Add in all of the other ingredients to your mixing bowl and whisk them together thoroughly. Then place the bowl into the refrigerator for about 2 hours. The remoulade sauce needs to get really cold. You want all of the flavors to blend together well. For the crab cakes, our mise en place is 1 whole egg, 1/4 cup of mayonnaise, 1 teaspoon of seafood seasoning, 1/2 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, 1/2 tablespoon of fresh thyme, a pinch of parsley, 1 pound of fresh Florida blue crab meat, 2 ounces of Natalie's lemon juice, and 1/4 cup of panko breadcrumbs. Put 1 egg into a bowl and whisk it until smooth. Add in the mayonnaise and whisk it together with the egg until it's smooth. Add in the seafood seasoning. Old Bay is common, but we are using a special blend made for us by our friends at Elite Spice. The Worcestershire sauce, Dijon mustard, fresh thyme, and parsley, and whisk everything together. Add in the jumbo lump crab meat and gently stir everything together. Now you don't want to break the jumbo lumps apart. Then add in the lemon juice and the panko breadcrumbs. Give it a stir, and then put the bowl of crab mix into the refrigerator for at least 30 minutes. Preheat your oven to 500 degrees. Using a 2-inch ring mold, put the crab meat mix into the ring mold and push it down with a tamper. Squeeze out any excess moisture. Spray some nonstick spray onto a nonstick pan or a cake pan and put the molded crab mix onto the pan. Bake it in the oven for 8 to 9 minutes. And now it's time to plate our dish. Pour some remoulade sauce onto a plate and then place the crab cakes onto the remoulade sauce. Garnish the crab cakes with some scallions, microgreens, fresh parsley, and balsamic dots, and we're done. And there it is, a taste of Fort Lauderdale. Crab cakes made from jumbo lump Florida blue crabs with a homemade remoulade sauce. It's a real treat from South Florida. It was delicious. Until next time, bon appetit. Tonight is a taste of Fort Myers, a coastal city located on the west coast of Florida. We're taking a fresh swordfish steak, adding salt and pepper, and marinating it in extra virgin olive oil, lemon juice, garlic, rosemary, and thyme. We'll season it with a homemade blackening seasoning made from paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, thyme, oregano, and cayenne pepper. We'll bake it in the oven and top it off with a sauce made from the marinade, capers, and butter. This steak from the sea will be served with sautéed spinach and black lentils. And why are we making this dish tonight? Well, this week we were in Fort Myers, Florida. Fort Myers was the winter home of 2 notorious American inventors, Henry Ford and Thomas Edison. Their homes are still here today and visited by many tourists each year. Fort Myers also has a rejuvenated downtown area, only 1 block from the Caloosahatchee River. And with the abundance of fishing at the nearby marinas, the local restaurants have plenty of fresh fish and seafood. This week we went to 2 Fort Myers hotspots, Oxbow, located right on the river, and Izzy's, located in the heart of downtown. Swordfish the first night and grouper on the second. Both were good, but we had to choose one, so we're going with the swordfish, which brings us to our dish tonight. Our mise en place is, for the fish, 1 fresh swordfish steak. For the marinade, a few tablespoons of Colavita extra virgin olive oil, 1 ounce of Natalie's lemon juice, 2 cloves of chopped garlic, 2 sprigs of fresh rosemary, 2 sprigs of fresh thyme, and 1/4 yellow onion chopped. For the blackening seasoning, 1/4 tablespoon each of cayenne pepper, paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, ground oregano, and ground thyme, 2 tablespoons of Colavita extra virgin olive oil, 2 pieces of President brand unsalted butter, salt and pepper. For the lentils, 1 cup of black lentils, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 pieces of butter, 1/2 cup diced carrots, 1/2 cup diced yellow onion, 2 cloves of chopped garlic, and 1/4 teaspoon each of coriander, cumin, turmeric, and black pepper. For the spinach, 1 bag of fresh spinach, 1 ounce of Natalie's lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of Colavita olive oil, 1 chopped clove of garlic, and salt and pepper. And for the sauce, we'll use the onion, garlic, and herbs from the marinade, along with 2 teaspoons of capers, 1 ounce of Natalie's lemon juice, and 1/2 cup of chicken stock. You'll be using chicken stock for the lentils, spinach, and the sauce, so make 3 cups of stock before you get started. Our first step is to marinate the swordfish. In a bowl, combine a few tablespoons of olive oil, 2 chopped cloves of garlic, some chopped onion, the rosemary and thyme, 1 ounce of lemon juice. Season the swordfish with salt and pepper and place it into the marinade. Coat it on all sides. Cover the bowl with plastic wrap and put it in the refrigerator for 20 minutes. Remove the bowl from the refrigerator and place the swordfish onto a plate. Add salt, pepper, and the blackening seasoning to the swordfish. In a large pan, add olive oil and butter and turn the heat to medium-high. Add the swordfish and cook 3 minutes per side. Then place the swordfish into aluminum foil, cover it, and put it into a 170-degree oven to stay warm. For the lentils, place a few pieces of butter and a few tablespoons of olive oil into a medium-sized pot. Bring the heat up to medium. Add the onions and carrots and cook them for 4 minutes. Add a teaspoon of the chopped garlic and cook it for 1 minute. Add the lentils into the pot and stir them into the butter and oil thoroughly. Add the seasoning and stir it in well too. Add the 2 cups of chicken stock and stir everything together well and bring it to a simmer. Cover and let the lentils cook for 10 minutes or according to package directions. For the spinach, add a few tablespoons of olive oil to a small pot on medium-low heat. Add the garlic and cook it for 1 minute. Place the spinach into the pot, add the chicken stock, stir, and cook the spinach for a few minutes on low heat. Cover when done. For the sauce, add the bowl of marinade to the pan and turn the heat up to medium-high. Deglaze the pan with a wooden spoon and cook the marinated bits for about 4 minutes. Add in the capers and cook for another 2 minutes. Add the lemon juice and the chicken stock and bring it to a simmer. When the sauce has reduced by half, turn the heat off and add a piece of cold butter and stir it in. And now it's time to plate our dish. And there it is, a taste of Fort Myers. Blackened swordfish with a lemon caper butter sauce. Marinated, pan-seared, and baked in the oven. Served with seasoned black lentils and fresh spinach. Swordfish is the steak of the sea. It was delicious. Until next time, bon appetit. Tonight is a taste of Key West. We're taking scallops and seasoning them with a homemade blackening seasoning made from cayenne pepper, paprika, onion powder, garlic powder, thyme, oregano, and black pepper. We'll pan-sear them in a cast iron skillet in butter, olive oil, and then we'll top them off with a sauce made from garlic, cilantro, butter, lime juice, white wine, maple syrup, and heavy cream. The scallops will be plated on top of a spoonful of black lentils, cooked in onion and garlic, and then served with asparagus tips. And why are we making this dish tonight? Well, this week we were in Key West, Florida, the deep sea fishing capital of the world. We flew into Miami and took the 3.5-hour drive through the Florida Keys and across the famous 7-mile bridge. In the heart of the city, you'll find Duval Street with its many bars, restaurants, and entertainment lounges. Similar to Bourbon Street in New Orleans, this city is hopping all the time. Key West is famous for its pastel-colored homes, and it has one of the most recognized tourist attractions in the country. This is the southernmost point in the USA. It's only 90 miles from the island of Cuba. People wait in line for a very long time just to get their picture taken at this famous landmark. Key West has numerous fishing boats and deep sea charters, and there's no lack of tasty food at the many seafood restaurants in town like the Conch Republic and Pinchers. From hush puppies to conch fritters, mahi-mahi to grouper, there's plenty to choose from, which brings us to our dish tonight. You'll need 8 fresh jumbo scallops, blackening seasoning, 2 tablespoons of Colavita extra virgin olive oil, 2 pieces of President brand unsalted butter, and salt and pepper. 1 cup of black lentils, 2 tablespoons of olive oil, 2 pieces of butter, 1/2 cup of diced carrots, 1/2 cup of diced yellow onion, 2 cloves of chopped garlic, 1/4 teaspoon each coriander, cumin, turmeric, and black pepper, and 2 cups of chicken stock. 1 bunch of asparagus cut at the tips. And for the sauce, you'll need a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil, 2 pieces of President brand unsalted butter, 2 cloves of chopped garlic or 1 cube of garlic puree, 2 sprigs of chopped cilantro, 2 ounces of Natalie's lime juice, 4 ounces of white wine, 1 ounce of Vermont maple syrup, and 2 ounces of heavy cream. To get the scallops ready, pour 2 tablespoons of olive oil into the cast iron skillet and turn the heat up to medium-high. Add a piece of butter and let it melt. Sprinkle some salt onto the scallops and then add the blackening seasoning onto them next. Season the scallops on both sides. Add the scallops one at a time to the pan and cook them for 3 minutes. Then flip them over and cook for another 3 minutes. Scallops cook quickly and you don't want to overcook them. Place the cooked scallops onto aluminum foil but don't cover them. We'll place them into a 170-degree oven to stay warm open so that they don't get soggy. For the sauce, add the garlic puree and the chopped garlic to the pan and cook for 1 minute. Add the lime juice and the wine, bring to a simmer and reduce by half. Season with salt and pepper. Add the syrup, the cream, and a chunk of cold butter. Turn off the heat, give it a stir, and let it thicken. Add in some of the chopped cilantro. And now it's time to plate our dish. And there it is, a taste of Key West. Fresh jumbo scallops, seasoned with a homemade blackening seasoning, pan-seared in a cast iron skillet and topped with a garlic, lime butter, and wine sauce. Served with black lentils, asparagus tips, and garnished with diced carrots, peas, and sliced limes. This succulent dish was a wonderful treat from the sea. It was delicious. Until next time, bon appetit. Tonight is a taste of the Treasure Coast in Fort Pierce, Florida. We're making a Parmesan crusted grouper with couscous and baked asparagus. Fresh red grouper, pan-seared, buttered, and coated with panko breadcrumbs, grated Parmesan cheese, garlic puree, scallions, and parsley. Served with couscous pearls cooked in salted water and turmeric, and baked asparagus with lemon juice and olive oil. And why are we making this dish tonight? Well, this week we were in Fort Pierce, Florida, a city of the Treasure Coast. We're visiting our friends at Freedom Boat Club, where Captain Mark just signed off on our open water boat certification. Now we can go out in the Atlantic Ocean and catch the really big fish, like our grouper tonight. Our mise en place for tonight's dish is 1 pound of fresh red grouper, 2 ounces of chopped scallions, 1 ounce of garlic puree, 2 ounces of chopped parsley, 1/2 stick of butter, 2 ounces of panko breadcrumbs, 2 ounces of grated Parmesan Reggiano cheese, 2 ounces of Natalie's lemon juice, extra virgin olive oil, turmeric, salt, pepper, 2 ounces of pearl couscous, 4 asparagus spears, and 2 sprigs of fresh thyme. We'll start with our asparagus. Lightly sprinkle some extra virgin olive oil and some lemon juice onto the asparagus spears. Make sure that all of them are coated evenly. Season them with salt and pepper. Then put them into a 400-degree oven for 10 minutes. Next, we'll get our breading ready. Combine the panko breadcrumbs, Parmesan cheese, scallions, parsley, and garlic puree, and whisk it all together. Add in some salt, pepper, olive oil, and lemon juice, and whisk everything together again. Our breading is now mixed and ready to go. Set the bowl of breading aside. We'll use that in a few more minutes. Bring a small pot of salted water to a boil and add in 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric. This is mainly for color, but it also adds to the flavor. Next, we will get our grouper ready. In a small non-stick pan, add in some extra virgin olive oil and turn the heat up to medium. Season the grouper fillet with salt and pepper. Turn it over and season it again so that there is salt and pepper on both sides. Place the grouper in the pan of olive oil and let it cook for about 1.5 minutes. Then turn the grouper over and cook it too for about 1.5 minutes. Now take the room temperature butter and start to coat the entire grouper fillet. Put the butter on generously. The butter adds flavor, but the main function of the butter is to ensure that our Parmesan panko breading sticks to the grouper. Using a tablespoon, start to put the breading onto the grouper. Flatten it down as you go to make sure that it sticks. Put the breading on the top of the grouper and also put it on the sides as best as you can. Then put the pan with the grouper into a 400-degree oven for about 12 minutes. Back in the pot of boiling water, add in your couscous. Give it a stir and let it cook for about 10 minutes. And now we'll make some room on the stove. Remove the pan of grouper and the asparagus so that we can get ready to plate our dish. Put a few pieces of fresh Italian parsley onto the corner of your plate. Then add 4 pieces of the asparagus. Using a wide fish spatula, place the piece of breaded grouper onto the plate. Next, we'll add a few spoons of the couscous. Garnish the grouper with a few sprigs of fresh thyme and balsamic dots, and we are done. And there it is, a taste of the Treasure Coast. Parmesan crusted grouper with baked asparagus and couscous. A treat from the sea prepared at home. It was delicious. Until next time, bon appetit. Tonight is a taste from the Pacific Ocean in California. We're taking fresh flounder and rolling it up with scallops and shrimp and baking it in the oven with extra virgin olive oil, butter, and paprika. This seafood entree will be plated with linguine and asparagus and topped with a beurre blanc sauce made from butter, shallots, white wine, heavy cream, and Natalie's lemon juice. And why are we making this dish tonight? Well, this week we were in Venice Beach in Southern California. Venice Beach is known for its waves and the super tall palm trees. It has a boardwalk that's over 4 miles long, and it's known for its electric vibe with shops, bars, and restaurants. Inside Venice Beach is Muscle Beach, made famous in the 1950s by world-renowned bodybuilder Jack LaLanne. Venice Beach was the set for many movies and was home to famous rock stars like Jim Morrison from The Doors. Our mise en place for tonight's dish is 3 flounder fillets, 1/3 pound baby scallops, and 1/3 pound of peeled and deveined shrimp, 2 chopped shallots, 6 cloves of chopped garlic, 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, 1 stick of unsalted butter, 1 pinch of fresh thyme, and 3 sprigs of chopped parsley. 1/2 cup of Chardonnay wine, 1 cup of chicken stock, 1/2 cup of heavy whipping cream, 2 ounces of Natalie's lemon juice, 1 pound of linguine, 1 bunch of asparagus. In a large pan on medium heat, put in 4 chunks of butter and 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. When the butter melts, add in half of the chopped shallots and saute them for about 4 minutes. Then add in half of the garlic and cook it for about a minute. Sprinkle in a dash of seafood seasoning to the scallops and pour them into the pan. Then sprinkle a dash of seafood seasoning to the shrimp and pour them into the pan too. Give the scallops and shrimp a nice stir and cook them for about 3 minutes. Season the scallops with salt and with pepper. Give the seafood mixture a nice stir and turn off the heat. Season the flounder fillets with salt and pepper on both sides. Then take a scoop of the scallops and shrimp and put it onto the flounder. Roll it up as best as you can. Don't worry if some of the seafood falls out. You can put it back in when the fillets are put onto the pan. Put the 3 stuffed flounder fillets onto a nonstick pan sprayed with nonstick spray. Then place the tray into a preheated oven at 385 degrees for 12 minutes. Place the asparagus spears onto a sheet with aluminum foil. Drizzle some extra virgin olive oil, lemon juice, salt, and pepper onto the asparagus and place it into the oven next to the flounder. Next, we'll make the sauce. Put in a few chunks of butter and another tablespoon of olive oil into the pan. Add in the shallots and cook them for 4 minutes. Add in the fresh thyme and stir it into the mixture. Then add in the garlic and cook it for about a minute. Turn the heat up to medium-high and add in the wine, the chicken stock, lemon juice, and the heavy cream. Stir the ingredients together and simmer for about 10 minutes to let the sauce reduce. Remove from the heat, put in a chunk of cold butter, give it a stir, and let it thicken. In a pot of boiling salted water with a pinch of turmeric, Add in the linguine and let it cook for about 10 minutes until al dente. And now it's time to plate our dish. And there it is, a taste of Venice Beach. Flounder fillets stuffed with scallops, shrimp, and baked in the oven, served with linguine, fresh asparagus, and topped with a wine cream sauce. It was delicious. Until next time, bon appetit. Tonight is a taste from the low country of Charleston, South Carolina. Fresh jumbo shrimp sauteed in bacon with grits made with chicken stock, butter, fresh grated white and yellow cheddar cheese mixed with a tomato beurre blanc sauce made with shallots, garlic, white wine, spinach, and tomato paste. And why are we making this dish tonight? Well, this week we were in beautiful and historical Charleston, South Carolina, a city rich in tradition and defined by its cobblestone streets, horse-drawn carriages, and pasteled antebellum homes. The architecture in historic Charleston is absolutely breathtaking. Some of the most prominent recognized buildings are St. Philip's Church. Established in 1681, St. Philip's is the oldest European American religious congregation in South Carolina. Originally damaged by a hurricane in 1710, the current church was finished in 1850. Charleston City Market. Established in the 1790s, the market stretches for 4 city blocks, from Market Hall on Meeting Street to the last market shed on East Bay Street. Across from the city market is the massive United States Customs House on East Bay Street. Built from granite, limestone, and marble, construction began in 1852 and was finally completed in 1879. Consequently, this is where my father worked in the 1970s. He was a customs inspector there. A few blocks down from the Customs House are the homes on East Battery. Some of Charleston's biggest and most impressive homes were built there. It's been said that at the start of the Civil War in 1861, the residents would sit on their porches to watch the cannon fire and explosions on nearby Fort Sumter. Around the corner from East Battery is South Battery. The Battery is famous for its stately, grand antebellum homes. It's pure Charleston architecture at its finest. Initially, the Battery was constructed for military use. Then later, it was turned into a promenade. Back in the 1970s, I was fortunate to live in Charleston for several years. Here's the old Citadel. I went to school and church here at Citadel Square Baptist on Meeting Street. The first house that we lived in was here at 135 Cumming Street. My father bought this house for $25,000 in 1974 and sold it a year later for $50,000. Today it's worth over $1.2 million. There's nothing quite like the beauty and elegance of this charming city. And there's nothing like the food that you'll find here too. Charleston is famous for many southern dishes, and that's why tonight we're making a South Carolina favorite, shrimp and grits. We're going to visit my friend Keith Pitts on James Island. Keith and I met at 6th grade at Citadel Square, and we've been friends ever since. Keith was gracious enough to host our dinner tonight and to be the sous chef for tonight's meal. Our mise en place for tonight: 2 pounds of fresh jumbo shrimp peeled and deveined, 3 tablespoons of seafood seasoning, 1 tablespoon of paprika, 3 cups of chicken stock, 1 heaping tablespoon of tomato paste, 2 tablespoons of Natalie's lemon juice, 2 tablespoons of Natalie's orange juice, 1 cup of quick grits, 1 cup of white wine, 3 shallots diced, 1/2 stick unsalted butter, 1 small bag of spinach, 4 ounces each of fresh shredded white cheddar and yellow cheddar cheese, 3 tablespoons of chopped fresh parsley, 1 bunch of asparagus, 3 scallions chopped, 3 cloves of garlic chopped and minced, and 8 slices of thick cut bacon. Our first step was to cook the bacon to the desired level of crispiness. And then we cut the bacon into pieces on our cutting board. Next, we put our asparagus onto a cookie sheet and placed it into a 385-degree oven for 10 minutes. Then the heat was lowered to 175 degrees to stay warm. Season your shrimp and put them into the skillet on a medium-high heat and cook them for 3 minutes. Flip the shrimp over and cook for an additional 3 minutes. Once the shrimp is cooked, we will place them into our glass dish, and then we will put the glass dish into the oven to stay warm. We'll season our asparagus with olive oil, salt, and pepper, and then we'll get ready to cook our grits. Add the chicken stock to a pot and bring it up to a boil. Add in your grits and cook for 5 minutes, and then add in your cheese, your bacon, and give it all a stir. And now cover your grits and lower the heat to keep them warm. Turn the heat on the skillet up to medium. Add in your butter, and once the butter melts, we'll add in our shallots, our scallions, and we'll give everything a stir. Add in your garlic, tomato paste, lemon juice, and orange juice. And then we'll add in our spinach and give everything a stir. Once the spinach was cooked, we added our cheese grits into the tomato beurre blanc sauce. And there it is, a taste of Charleston, shrimp and grits in a tomato beurre blanc sauce with cheddar cheese and topped with parsley and scallions. It was delicious. Until next time, bon appetit.